So you had the Adele and the Lumi here.
Yeah.
What's the complete situation? Give me a little bit of a background on your account.
I was an Adele main, but when I started to do hard bosses, it was not my style.
Okay.
Don't know. Just the up jump and no iframe. I got an iframe, but it's the burst, and the up jump always got me because I don't know why, but it's not like a teleport. When I started to play Lumi and the teleport, it was like it's more calculated for me.
Like a distance that fits you better? Because you've got like the, what is it, the Impale Resonance Rush, right? As a little bit of a well, as a dash, and then that you can do that in 8 directions. And then you've got the Feather Float as like a back teleport.
Yeah, but it's backwards and...
Yeah, and you have the other iframe as well, right? The Ether Guard is a iframe.
Yeah. It's an iframe for like a bullet or something like that, but not a one shot. Like a full screen attack.
Well, yeah, if you time it right for the first tick it is. But then after that yeah.
Like Arcadium, if he does a full screen, you can Ether Guard.
Yeah. Yeah, so they I don't know how long you haven't played the Adele, but they changed the skill around a little bit. In the beginning, it was an iframe, and then if you tapped it at the right time, it stayed in iframe the whole time, right?
Yeah.
And now, if you hold it, it counts as an iframe for the first source of damage, and then after that, it becomes a damage reduction. And if you time it right, the second part that is damage reduction is a little bit more reduction.
Okay, yeah.
Than before.
Like in Will, you always get hit by something else.
The timing is super important there, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it was my first character when I start back playing because I was playing before Bing Bang. And yeah, I had an errant level 153 and that was it. I started back playing in Neo update, I think. That year. I started in Adele because it's strong.
Yeah, it's undeniable, basically.
Yeah, it's a good starter. I enjoy it, but I mean, I don't get the feeling that I want to push it further than 250.
Sure, yeah. I just got mine to 250, and I completely feel you on that one. You could do a lot at 250, but any kind of character past 250 is going to take significant amount of hours and mesos.
Yeah.
So you want to be really sure that you want to do that. So you are feeling that about the Lumi, that you want to get to that point and beyond?
Yeah, with the change of the teleport, it's because I started the Nice Lightning with the Terra Burning, and I enjoy it, but with the changes of Luminous, I mean, I need to give it a try at 5th job. Just do bossing and with the Ice Lightning and just to see how it feels, but Luminous feels good right now.
Okay. That's good. So you see a future in that.
It can always change, but...
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're deleting the Adele, right? It's still just there,
No.
You can always go back.
It won't be Adele. It won't be Adele.
Okay.
But maybe Young. I wanna put a Terra Burning on Young, but I have a lot of questions.
On how to play Ho-Young, or just about the game in general first?
Yeah. No, more to play Young because I have one level 120 and I just for the skill, and when I started back just to see, I was so confused.
Yeah, with the energy systems and the scroll energy, talisman energy.
Yeah, so I mean, I prefer just to start it back and play the full run one shot just to get the real feeling out of it.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm scrolling through your stuff a little bit. What's the Lumi at? What level is the Lumi?
It's 226, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't have to be exact, like around that area, yeah. So you just got into Arcana?
Yep.
And you can actually do Dream Defender now because you have a teleport?
To be honest, I don't do the side quest.
Okay.
In Maple, I do things that I want to do because I'll burn out.
Yeah, okay, good.
But I always try to take
balance or
take commercy.
Okay.
I'm
because you
about
want
to have
or
the Dreadnought on Adele, but I hate it. But it's like I integrate it in some kind of ways.
Yep. That's manageable for you, so you don't hate it too much. Okay. Okay, so
if I don't feel to do it that day, I don't do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or if I have time, I do it.
Yeah, that's fine. I think in general it's a good idea to just do it whenever you have time, and then whenever you don't feel like it or don't have time, then you can also skip it, and then it doesn't feel too bad. But if you only do it if everything is perfect, then you'll just never do it, and then you might as well just not do it ever, because doing it only a little bit will just not get you the amount that you need to be able to access the content, right? If you have like one item or one backup, then you can try it one time, but you're probably not going to get anything out of it. You're just wasting your money.
Yeah. But okay. I mean, I'm working always little by little.
Yep.
I don't like to brute force. So
that's good.
It kind of let me in a healthy mind.
Yep, that's good. That's good. As long as you find what works for you, right?
Yep.
Okay. So do you have some questions that you written down, or do you just want to go over the Adele and kind of see like where can we put the Adele, with the current things you have access to put it in a good spot to like optimize on your gains and then mainly focus on the Lumi?
I had a little questions. I think the first question would be, what's a good duo with Night Lord?
Well, first thing that comes to mind is Paladin.
Okay.
Because you can, mainly in the beginning, Night Lords, and also when you're bursting, when you have the, it's called like Prepare to Die in Korea. What's the name again? They gives you like extra final damage, but you get hit harder by everything. Your avoidability goes down, right? During that, it's very easy to just die to some dumb shit. Last resort, yeah. But if the Paladin can give you Sacrosanctity and you're just immune for 30 seconds, and then you can just do whatever, kind of damage. Plus the Paladin has a built-in bind, which the Night Lord doesn't have. And the Paladin gets a percentage. When you're linked to someone, like the other person's damage, a percentage of that is added to your damage when you're attacking. And since Night Lord has the highest burst in the game, I think the combination of those two is very, very high. So I feel like they complement each other quite well. And at the same time, Paladin can also still, pack a punch. It's not like just a pushover or something. But I think any other good support character with good survivability support would probably be great. So like a Bishop will probably also work fine. Kana would probably work fine, although, people... a little bit of a sore topic for people.
Yeah.
And Mihal will probably help more on the survivability part, but I don't know about the damage output of Mihal. It's always hard to find data on that because people just don't play it very much.
Yeah. I have a Cano, but I don't feel like playing it. I funded it before just to make it a farming character, and right when I put all my money in it, the patch note said that the kitten was removed. So I just quit.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's like a little bossing mule doing until it's not doing CRA, but like Signa scale Zakum, so it's not bad.
But you got Mezzo and drop gear on it?
Yep.
You were planning to level it and have it as a side bossing character? Does that mean that you have, or as a mule, like as a farming character, does that mean that you have quite a lot of time to play extra on top of like mules, on top of totems, I mean, in the game?
No, it's just making different. Sometimes if I grind my heart out on Adele before 5, 10, 15, just to make a difference.
Yeah, just change of scenery, not to do the same thing all the time. Gotcha.
And I mean the rates in Lackline or Arcano is the same at VC3, or not the same, but almost.
Yeah, quite comparable for the amount of effort. You know, you can get there way faster and get started way faster for not that much less. You know, that's true.
But I think I should requeue my drop gear to make it stats, so I could maybe do CRA. I don't know.
I mean, those are your two options, right? Is either you keep it like that and then you throw a totem on there every now and then when you want to have a change of scenery and you want to make sure that you have a character that can still, you know, kill and grind and also make decent money because it already has the gear, or you use the cubes to reroll the stuff, and then basically it just becomes a bossing mule, and then if you ever want to do more bosses with it, you'll have to grind on it with that gear on, and then you won't make as much money back, of course, while you're grinding, but you should have an easier time training up because you'll have much more percentage in it.
Yeah, but the canoe is it's there and it's not progressing.
But it's like around 220 or something, or
225, I think.
Oh yeah, you have some Legion pictures. I can maybe see it there.
It's 227.
227. Yeah, I see.
But right now, if I want to grind, I'll go to my Luminous.
Yeah. There's still a lot of room for growth, and you actually want to be on there, so.
Yeah. But to do money, I don't have choice to make a totem on Adele, though. So.
But you have you do have your accessories. I saw at least already, like up to legendary on your WSC on the Lumi, right?
Yeah, it's not I don't have the full meso and drop.
Oh, but
I have 40
close, right?
drop and 80, I think, something like that.
That's a really good start, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't want tear up.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it does that, and you kind of just stuck.
I get like three line, but doesn't get to legendary, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it was easy, then everyone would have it, right?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be as valuable.
It's better than anything, but.
Yeah, better than nothing, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so to kind of like outline the. Well, I guess that was your first question you had. Did you have like more questions you wanted to ask to get out of the way?
I have 5 questions. It's like next burning, Luminous. Does it need attack speed? Deimos shield on a night lightning. And Oyong and gameplay tips.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, we can start tackling those one by one if you want.
Yeah. But maybe I put on my gear of Adele and Lumi just to. Am I in the right track?
Sure. Yeah, to see if it's like completely out or.
Yeah.
Should we get the random questions out of the way first, or do you want to get to those afterwards?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, I mean either way works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So fire away. What was the first one again? Because my memory is.
The Deimos shield on a nice lightning. Do I get this or do I get the Princess No?
Typically, you get the shield because of the Star Forcing. Eventually, you can get it up to 20, and it's decently easy to get backups from normal Cygnus. So that makes more sense to go for that. Princess No base stats are better, but there's no Star Force, so it gets outclassed quite easily.
Okay.
Plus, if you ever want to switch to the other mages, the shield is used by all of them, and the Princess No would be specific to one of the classes, so that would present the problem there as well.
Okay. That's what I thought. So I'm on track. Next burning coupon. I was thinking about jet or shade for the good damage. My jet is 120. But Yeah. Who's the less?
I heard that Shade is slower, like quite a lot slower to level than Jet. So if you want to get more value from the coupon, the Shade might be a better candidate. I've heard from a lot of people. I don't know if you played Jet a long time ago and then just made the link and then haven't played it in a long time. But Jet right now is actually considered like very fast and pretty strong for mobbing.
Yeah.
So it might not be it might not be as bad.
I played it like 4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it changed.
That's probably after the changes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Shade is just kind of slower. I think Shade is kind of fun once you get the 5th job and you get like the empowered Spirit Claw and the entire map just wipes every 6 or 8 seconds. That's pretty fun. But until that, it's just not giant hitboxes, not huge skills. Like you have that one, that iframe, but I mean pretty long cooldown, so it doesn't help that much with clearing huge maps.
Yeah. Okay. It will be Shade.
Do you have a plan for all the other Terra Burns and the Burninators?
Yeah, I started the Ice Lightning for the Explorer revamp.
Mm-hmm.
To see how it feels
as a Terra Burn or as a normal?
Luminous. The Terra Burn.
Okay.
Just to see how it feels in comparison with the Luminous, but with the Luminous changes and all, I need to give it a try on 5th job.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I won't be mindset before it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think you'll see a lot of similarities in a good way, I think.
Yeah. It's just because Luminous is a DPM and Ice Lightning is a burst class, so...
Yeah, that's the main difference, probably.
With Night Lord, what would it be the best with Luminous or Ice Lightning?
Well, I would probably advocate for balancing it out. So if you're like strong enough that both of your bursts together could just like nuke a boss, and that's easier for you, if you can get to that point of strength, but you'll always be at that point of strength for some bosses, right? Then that might make those specific bosses easier, but for a lot of the bosses, and the further you go into the game, it's probably better to have like a balance of DPM and DPS. Like, let's say for Lucid, for example, if you're trying to do Lucid when you're pretty weak, the main problem is that it takes a long time to get one of the bars down if you're off burst on something like a Night Lord, or if you're both off burst. And then you might get so many butterflies in the background that you might end up dying to the butterflies, like just swarming you and destroying you. But if you have one character DPM and one character DPS, and you can keep, even when you're off burst, you can keep the bar going decently, so you'll always have time to space out the cleanses to keep the map clean, then the balance of the party is that could be more helpful. Yeah. But of course, if you're so strong that you could just, one person nukes it, the other person nukes it, and you just kind of just blow through the phases, then you can kind of disregard the mechanics and you don't really have to care as much. But it depends on if you're trying to like 2-man, you're all the way to the top and you're trying to kind of min-max and see how far you can duo it. Because I'm assuming now that you're duoing with a friend who plays Night Lord. Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a 0 main.
Mm-hmm.
But
switch from
he switched 180 degrees.
yeah. Oh yeah, we said right. He went from all of the iframes and all of the binds and none of the bursts to all of the bursts and no iframes and no binds. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly to the other side. Yeah. So,
but
I would be more inclined to say probably the DPM class. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. That would fit with the Lumi, right? So then you can
yeah, that's it.
And he can stick with the Night Lord. You don't have to feel like you have a really bad combo.
Yeah, I told you, it's not the I won't choose a class just for to be a good duo, but if I can.
It helps. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the downside both for Lumi and Ice Lightning is that your iframe is also your bind.
Yeah, But with the new Erdonova, I just can put it in there and take my bind for an iframe and.
Yeah, and then you won't accidentally, but you'll bind some golems or something and lose it, but you won't accidentally bind the boss and then completely throw off the timer for the burst, because that would be annoying.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Yeah, if they get far enough into the game, then yeah.
Okay, my next question is Luminous. Does it need attack speed still?
Oh yeah, I believe.
In the ability, because it changed to a passive, and it's attack speed +2, but I don't know what it was before.
It's your regular booster, right?
Yeah.
Luminous.
Because it's not an active skill, it changed to a passive.
Spell mastery. Yeah, from a Seth's file, it seems that you probably still want it, because with Green Pod DSI Innerability, you hit the 0 for the highest attack speed. Well, it's like mage casting speed, right? It's not quite the same as attack speed. It's a little bit different for mages.
Okay.
Oh, some classes have a base of 4 apparently. Of 3. Damn. Yeah, so I believe you still need the attack speed inner, yeah. I don't think that changed. Okay. Just because the skill became passive didn't change how much attack speed it gave, so that in itself didn't change. Yeah, I didn't know
if it was +1 or +2 before.
I believe they made all the boosters 2. And if you see the list here on screen?
Yep.
You see the booster column here? It's basically just all 2s. I think the only exception here is 3 on 0. Because they have an extra passive for those skills. But for everyone else, the booster is 2, so.
Okay. Okay, nice.
Right, that's all the questions?
I need to buy circulators.
Yeah. Yeah, are you familiar with innerability? On what's like a good way to get from no innerability to a good one, basically?
Yeah. I listened to enough progression sessions to know that I need to buy circulators, get my unique line, roll with honor.
Yeah. Yeah, so make sure you have enough honor to be able to make that double switch, right?
Basically, I didn't do it on Luminous, but.
Yeah, well, I mean, what you have now, you have the Meso-Obtain and you have the buff duration. I mean, I think that's a really good one to have, like, throughout the mid-game. And that gives you time to build up honor experience first. And I would say you probably want to comfortably have at least, I would say around like 2 mil honor or something before you try to make that jump, because otherwise there's a really big chance you get to like 38% buff duration, which will help you in mobbing and in bossing, of course, but you might not get your top line back, and then overall it won't really be an upgrade.
Okay. Should I circulate to get buff duration or Meso-Obtain, or should I just go all in buff duration?
As far as I'm aware, but people who play Lumi in the chat can weigh in. As far as I'm aware, buff duration 38 is like by and far the most important unique line you can get access to.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, just because of the uptime of your summon, right? Your summon for Equilibrium.
Yeah.
I don't think that has changed at all recently. I'm looking at Ilium. That's the wrong. Too many letters in common. 30 buff duration is a scam, but so good. Yeah, it can be really expensive before you roll it too, but it's crazy good. Maybe if you have a really big Legion, you can get away with like 25% roll on Epic, and then just have your Legion fill up it. You know, if you're at 8k, you don't need the crit anymore. You move into buff duration.
Yeah, it's just like a money issue. If I drop like 2 bill and I get the 15 meso, do I settle for this and get attack speed and try to get lucky on the third line or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why it probably makes the most sense to just sit on this innerability for quite a while, so that you have time to make the honor experience, and also you have time to make more upgrades on your character, where, you know, if you do spend like 10 bill on circulators and you don't get what you want, that won't be like, oh man, if I spent that 10 bill, you know, on star forcing instead, I could have gotten like crazy gains, right? You kind of want to get to the point where that kind of money is not a lot for all of your other items that you have, in the sense of this will most likely, you know, be a downgrade rather than be a very small upgrade, and then it makes sense to spend it in your ability instead and upgrade yourself, basically upgrade your own potential.
Okay.
So that's probably like around the point where your Adele is now, I would say.
Okay.
Like at the earliest, I think. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Attack speed works on mages? Yeah, because mages basically have a base casting speed for spells that is typically the same as the normal attack speed weapons. But you don't look at the attack speed of the weapon, you look at just the basic casting speed. And that's like pointed out here. So you can check !! attack speed or !! AS, and you can see there what basically the meta is for all the characters in the game right now for attack speed. Let me close this because that was not for you. Yeah. Okay.
Is it all mages that can't jump attack?
Are there mages who can? I think they made it so that some... I think Beast Tamer can jump attack and Battle Mage can, I think.
Okay.
But
because
a lot of mages have to like stand on the ground. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the little teleport, in the, like the bird sharks and the crew.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when you're like gliding?
Yeah.
You can't attack while you're doing... Oh, that's so annoying.
Yeah, no.
Because you're off the ground, so you're just like, I guess I'll just wait for the escalator to get to the floor. Yeah.
That's it.
Bishop can? Oh, Bishop can maybe do like Angel... Oh, no, you can... Oh, yeah, you can do Big Bang, I think, in the air as Bishop, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, I don't have any questions about that, but it's like more a young and that's it. But I mean, we could do a young at the end, just
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not forget it. Okay. So you want to talk about the Adele now? Make sure that it's in a good position.
Just to, because it was my first character, so the main errors, I think they are there.
Yeah.
It was my first character, so yeah.
Well, most of the errors probably are no longer visible, right? Because
No.
It's probably about how you got where you got now, rather than where you are now. That were the errors, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise,
I hope
we have
so
a lot
too.
to. Well, we could double check. Well, you showed the Legion here first. Did you have any questions about Legion?
No, it was just
Just as the info, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Double check where you're at, 4.5. And you're slowly but surely working towards 6K? Just making characters here and there. Terraburn's helping you out.
Yeah, like I said, I don't force me to to try to grind myself because I'll quit.
Yeah. Yeah, that would happen, yeah. When as soon as you're no longer in control on what you do, I always say, like, you have to make sure that you keep playing the game and the game doesn't play you, right?
Yeah.
Because as soon as that happens, then there's no end in sight, and then yeah, you'll just log in, play for 4 hours, log out, and you'll be like, what did I even do today?
Yeah, I grind myself out on not the last 5, 10, 15, but in the other event on my Adele. I had like 20 B, and I lost 14 B on my hat to get it to 16.
Yikes! Not good.
I was trying hard.
Yeah.
But with the gains that I made,
it wasn't worth all the time you spent.
Yeah, no, it
feels like you wasted all your time. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lothar just came online. So I played it a month just to
just to get Maple off your mind.
To get just to time wasted, I think.
Yeah. Sometimes it could be a positive, you know, just to make sure you don't like punch holes in your wall or something. Just like a positive way of using the energy instead of a negative way.
when I sat back and I think about it, it wasn't a good idea, but just to hold the tab and not tab but alt to NPC chat and
yeah,
for a month and
the game is set up a bit like that, where it has systems that work in a way where you know how they work, and then that means that if you make suboptimal decisions or whatever, or you fail, then a lot of times what you'll do is you'll blame yourself for like making bad decisions. Which, you know, isn't completely wrong, but it's also really easy for a system to say like, hey, if you go over 12 and you don't safeguard it, can boom, and then be like, oh, you forget to click one time. It's like, oh no, I didn't pay enough attention. Or it's like, oh, I thought it would be okay, and because I had so many backups, but I actually blew all of them up. And then the system can be like, well, I mean, it's RNG, it can happen, but at the end of the day, it's not really helpful because you're just left with, I guess I made a bad decision now because I had a bad outcome, you know.
yeah.
That's even
But
though
in
it's
Maple, it's not that terrible.
okay.
In Lost Ark, it was like NPC chat, and when I get to the point that I wanted to make, there was no dailies. There was dailies, but go around with a ship and waste your time, basically.
Yeah, some people like sailing on boats and stuff. I had no idea what was going on, but
Yeah, but in Maple, I like it because you always have something to do.
yeah, you'd never run
If you
out.
have 30 minutes to play that day, you just do your dailies, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's good value too. Dailies is really good value.
Yeah.
Is the boat thing? Is that like the Lost Ark version of Commercy or?
Basically, yes,
Oh
but
no!
longer.
Oh no, longer.
Just to get five mobs and go back to the main city, but you can't teleport. It was pretty bad,
Okay.
in my opinion, basically.
Well, welcome back to where it's not as
Yeah.
terrible in your words. Okay, Legion links. Priority. Yeah, it seems good. I see you have attack and intellect here in the middle, but I'm assuming that's just like a weird
Yeah,
thing
it's
for when you click the button.
yeah.
Just happen. Yeah, yeah. Here you have magic attack and intellect, so it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. General priority. You're getting your crit rates. So you have AB. So you have quite a lot of level 3, or you have some level 3 links already. So that's good. And that's a pretty solid foundation to set yourself up to 8K. Are you familiar with the changes to the bosses and what you can do with Zakum now?
No.
So for a bunch of bosses, they changed the daily entries. So for the higher level bosses, you can do like 3 entries a day instead of just 1.
Yeah, kill the arms and get
Yeah,
out.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
If on the lower
maybe
level
I'll do it.
characters where, you know, you say you have a half an hour, but maybe your dailies are done, but you don't know what to really do, you can knock out a
Like
bunch
on
of...
Mercedes and Phantom just to get it to 141.
Yeah, exactly. It's also good to have some 141 so that you can receive the growth potions.
Yeah, next should be Mercedes, but or Demon Avenger.
Yeah, that tends to not be a super popular one that people like to level, but really nice, of course, for Legion and for Link. So definitely a good value to level up. Okay. And you have the Link skills here. Did you have any questions for the Link skills?
Is it a good setup?
Mobbing. Yeah, so you make sure you have. So you have exactly 100 crit with this setup, or like
Yep.
you know close to 100. Yeah. And then you have your mobbing ones. And you have the EXP. These seem solid. Do you move around enough to make Tide of Battle work?
Yeah.
To keep Tide of Battle? Okay.
Yeah, I always did a cast on Lumi or double jump on Adele. So
Yep.
at
Okay.
VC3, I
Yeah.
don't have choice. So
Oh yeah. You have to move around a little bit from left to right.
yep.
You just can't quite stay in the middle. Yeah, I guess the main thing is that for most people, probably Keen Edge would get replaced if you have a good Jetlink skill. But other than that, it seems like what you would want. Yep.
Okay. And then bossing, is it good like that?
Bossing. Yeah, I'm hoping again your crit is at where you want it.
Yep.
And you need the extra adventurer for the crit to hit 100%?
Yeah, just to get more IED on the Legion board. Because in the mobbing setup, I put it all in crit rate just to get all my valuable link skills.
Right. You don't have any boss damage there, right? And
yeah.
Not full IED, yeah. So for bossing, there's a few that are typically what I call like the 13th or 14th on the list, where it can make sense that it makes it to your top 12 if you don't have all of the link skills yet, but eventually, usually they just fall out of like the top 12. But it depends on how much utility you need. Of course, there's one extra space that I have to keep in mind because the Mihail link is gone now, of course. But usually, like most of the ones on the left side here, like so the Hybrid Logic, Keen Edge, Tide of Battle, and the Adventurous Crit, those are all usually ones that are kind of like borderline in, borderline out. There's some other ones that I don't see here that are typically better. So, for example, the Cadena link skill and the Explorer Mages. Those are two that are very good. They also combine with each other. So even if you don't have a debuff, the Explorer Mage skill will put the debuff on the boss so that the Cadena link skill can activate. So those are very good. And then a lot of times people use Spirit of Freedom for the extra invincibility. But it'll depend on what boss you're doing and how much you want to min-max on that, of course. But for the resistance characters, right?
Yeah.
Usually link skills is a little bit of my blind spot. I always keep... I'll always miss like one or two. Oh, I think the Kinesis, right? For critical damage. That's one that usually people put in there.
Yeah. How is it to play a Kinesis?
Kinesis actually can jump attack, so it's one of those. It's a little weird because like their main attack is that you use, especially in fourth job, like you use one skill to like grab monsters or to just grab things in the air, and then the next attack you throw it, and then you can throw it like in a straight line, or you can throw it like across the map and like scatter it. So it's kind of weird because you always have to use like two skills before you can do an attack. But then, the range and the amount of monsters that you hit with those skills is quite significant. But in general, Kinesis is probably, lower tier when it comes to both mobbing and bossing. I think they can do a decent amount of bossing output, but really on like static characters that are like not moving at all. So you can throw all of your AoEs and, if you can commit all your hits and really confirm them, then they can do decent damage. So if you see like DPM charts, typically they can scale a little bit higher in that. But a lot, as you know, like if you've done up quite some bosses, the bosses move all around and teleport, and then you lose a lot of damage that way. So Kinesis gets hurt quite a bit by that. Some people just really like the mobbing and are okay with the bossing, but for most people, it's a really low played class for that. It seems like it's pretty high on the key input, and it doesn't pay off enough. It's like too hard to commit your damage, basically.
But just for 140, it would be.
Yeah, totally fine.
Not that bad.
It has a little bit longer of an introduction in the beginning with like its own cutscene and its own area and stuff. Because it's technically the one character that's kind of from the different world, right? It's like it's actually from the human world, so it's got like an introduction storyline and everything.
Like the new Explorer.
the new Explorer.
Yeah, the new Explorer cutscenes.
I don't remember if it's the same length, but it might be about the same. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I hope it's shorter, but I mean, from what I heard from people is like that it takes forever. So I've heard some horror stories, so I'm not sure how biased those are.
It's bad.
The story is very short. Okay, so it's not as bad then. I did a long time ago, so I don't remember exactly. So which one am I forgetting then? So the ones that come to mind is the Resistance Link, the Cadena, the Mages, and then the Kinesis, and then there's like one more. I guess that last slot is usually where the Mihail would go. So there would probably either like Hybrid Logic or Keen Edge, or again like the Jetlink skill if it's high enough. See, you have switched it around a little bit though. What's your Jetlink skill at?
It's like a medallion.
Yeah, core aura.
Skills. It's plus 13 weapon attack, and that's about it.
Okay. And have you ever worked with that one? Are you interested in rolling that?
I didn't even try.
Oh, okay. Because if your jet is at a good level, so you can get up to 35 weapon or magic attack and 35. Well, everything can technically go up to 35, but not all at once, because the total amount of stats is limited. But you could, for example, try to and it kind of sucks if you have an Adele and a Luminous, of course, because then the most important thing would be to have like high weapon attack and high magic attack, right, as your two main stats.
Yeah.
But if you roll it for one specific character, it'll be even with like one bill spent or so, it'll be significantly stronger than like a Keen Edge, for example.
Okay, but Adele has a magic conversion, so it's not that bad.
But yeah, that's true. But the magic conversion is pretty bad because the total amount of magic you can convert is not very high. I think it's like 30 or 40 magic attack in total. And it's only
35%.
Yeah, but it only goes up to
dash?
but it only goes up to a percent of how much so like you can get 35% of the base attack of your weapon in magic attack, right?
Okay.
So if
it doesn't work with the link skills.
No, it would work with. I think it's from. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I don't think even it works with link skills. I think it works with equips only, and not even your weapon. So only the non-weapon equips, I believe. All the magic attack on that. So basically, once you go to like later game star forcing, that's when that maxes out automatically. So for everything else, you could just you can basically just ignore that passive and just know that when you star force past 17 and stuff, that you're going to be scaling just a little bit extra off of that. But that's really the only reason, and also for arc and for that's the only time when you really have to think about magic conversion.
Okay.
But yeah, those would basically be the links that I would look into to making. Because you still have quite some space, right, for characters to activate in your Legion. You still have 14 characters, right, that will count.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of characters.
And that's fine, But if you have some free time, even if you just get them to level 60, 14 characters is like 840 levels. So that gets you to 5.3.
Yeah, I could get to 6k just like that.
Yeah, 6k is really, really quick to do, yeah. It's the 6 to 8, that's a real big commitment and a real jump. And that's when you really want to, get all the growth potions whenever you can, do all the Terror Burns whenever you can, do a bunch of Zakum runs, get your Monster Park runs out, like all of that stuff. Oh, by the way, on that note, are you using the current event with the stars, the minigame?
I didn't try it, but I think my event will benefit from it.
Yeah, exactly. So like Evan and Demon Avenger, I think it will be really good to get from 200 to 210 on those characters. I think that'll help them a lot and get you that extra bump without needing to necessarily use like those level up potions, right? Like the 200 to 210, those ones. And then maybe in the selectors, instead you can choose the higher rank selector potions to get more value out of them.
Yeah, the event is 205 now.
Okay.
Because of the wish coins.
In
the blooming event.
The wish coins or the
Yeah, the wish coins, I think, in the blooming event for bosses.
Or the ones? Do you mean the one with the save the rock spirits? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think the wish coins was the one with the where you could buy the droplets and the flames.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yep. It's the same now as with when you talk to the piano, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Does it have the same thing?
Yeah, in the event map. No, not the Punch King, but like the same as the Wish Coin, like for the weekly bosses, basically.
Yeah. The same shop.
Yep, exactly. Okay. With all the same items in it, so easy to copy over. On Adele, switch out. Yeah. Oh, and the other one that if you go in with a full party would be the Adele link skill. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's.
With in duo, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not great in duo. Yeah. Then you could just go for the flat stats like for core RR, or some people will go for the thief link skill if it's max stack, or for the cane. Those will all be roughly similar.
Okay.
Cane may be a little bit better for you because with DPM it's a little bit more spread, but people like the Thief more because if it lags, with server lag, then the duration goes up, and then since you have twice the amount of chances that it works compared to the Cane, then you have twice the chance that it'll fuck up and have higher uptime, and then the total coverage gets better. Yeah, but then you're then you're getting into the weeds a little bit.
Yeah, but what if MapleStory doesn't lag anymore?
Well, this is a realistic coaching session, okay? This is not Fantasyland, so we are going. We are not going to go off into fairy tale land now. We're going to stay realistic, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I see the Adele Matrix.
Yeah.
Do I see anything weird here? I'm assuming you have all the skills boosted twice each, right?
Yep.
Nothing crazy there. Oh, Weapon Aura is a really good skill to level up early. I believe the general priority is Infinity Blade, then Ruin, then Weapon Aura as the third. Because of the higher level gets more uptime and more IED, more final damage, and the extra aura. So I would say definitely boost that one in a slot over, say, the True Reckoner Reflection, for example.
Okay.
And I would also probably boost your Grandest Goddess Blessing.
But that's the mobbing. That's the mobbing.
Oh yeah, well for mobbing, it doesn't terribly make a whole lot of difference.
Yeah.
And the
but I could switch Weapon Aura for the EXP, Holy Symbol.
Well, if you're mobbing, then I would keep
conversion.
If well, so okay.
Embossing. Embossing, sorry.
Yeah. So for your mobbing setup, I would probably make sure that Conversion Overdrive is in there instead of like the Goddess Blessing, for example, right? So that you have because it's a skill with a little bit longer uptime, and and the Goddess Blessing is and it also has like mobbing capabilities, right, with the extra explosions and stuff. And Goddess Blessing is just more damage on your hits, but you should be trying to get to the point where you can always kill with your skills, and you're optimizing more on how many monsters you hit rather than how hard you hit them. Once you get very far into the game and you can literally have like all of the skills on the board, then you can optimize between how hard you hit, because you might be training in like Cernium or something, and then it might be a good idea to use Ruin and the Legacy Restoration, and then use Infinity Blade like after, when it's over, and then then you use Goddess Blessing, and then you use Conversion Overdrive, and you kind of cycle between so that there's always some empowerment on, so that your stable killing speed stays the same, with the idea behind that you can keep a normal rotation around the map at a stable pace, and you don't have to like double track back because a bunch of monsters didn't die, or because you can't reach certain platforms or something. Then you try to keep the empowerment skills basically not all at once, but spread them out. And of course, when you're bossing, you want to put them all at the same time so that your burst increases, of course. And that's why Adele is pretty nice, because they have a lot of those empowerment skills, right? So you have the option of getting more of a DPM approach, which is what you want to do when you're mobbing, or more of a DPS approach, which is what you want to do when you're bossing, especially during binds and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're mobbing, yeah. And then when you're bossing, I would probably do this setup. But I would probably put the Goddess Blessing and the Weapon Aura in leveled up slots, probably instead of the Legacy Restoration and the Arachnid Reflection. Even when you're bossing, though, I think it's okay to keep Holy Symbol in a slot when you're like at this level. If you're like 235, then I would definitely say like move around, right? And maybe even take it out and just switch it instead of a boost node at the end of the boss fight. But at this level, I think it's okay, because you're gonna do harder bosses, and you don't want to have to like fuck around at the end with like switching boost nodes and standing in the corner of the map, because that puts so much pressure on the whole boss fight run that you're doing. If you're okay with that, then knock yourself out. What I will say though is, like, if you're gonna do more stuff like Lucid on the Adele, have you used Blink at all? Like, have you found the need to use that?
No, because of the flow.
Yeah, that's enough for you. You can. Because it should be enough, but like Blink can make it so much easier. So that's why that's just why I'm asking.
Yeah, then didn't switch around. I didn't try it with the float and the Nimbus.
Yeah,
Feather float.
Yeah, Feather Float and
Yeah.
and then you can use Impale and Resonance Rush again up in the air, and then you can even Ether Guard if you somehow miss the timing. So there's a lot of backups. Yeah. Maybe even your Green Shield can tank a hit if you use that thing.
I don't.
Because that's another thing that can help you. Because you talked in the beginning about the survivability. The Green Shield can also help you out, but it's tricky to use. But do you know how the Green Shield works?
I don't actually know.
Oh boy. Well, I hoped you did. Now I have to imagine how it works. But I believe the way that it works is that you, as soon as you activate it, a part of all of the damage you take will get built up as a percentage of a shield on top of you. That I think. Do you get that shield when the shield is gone, and then when it hits, it takes HP off the shield first, chat? God, what's the name of that skill? I know it gives damage. No? Green.
Receive 30% of the damage dealt to party members inside the field and create a shield equals to 80% of the damage.
Receive 30% of the damage in the field and create a shield with 80% of that damage. If you take more damage than your remaining HP, you cannot receive the extra damage. Yeah, okay. So you won't die, right? But it's party members, so it's you and other people that are standing next to you. But let's say that is so let's say that you're alone and you have that shield on. So if you don't have a shield yet and you get hit by something that deals like 100% HP, then you die to that, right? But let's say you get hit by something that does like 50%, then you will basically get a shield for 80% of that. So you get like a 40% of your HP like shield. But you'll have to but you still have your HP down by 50%. So your HP only goes down by 10, but you have to heal back up. But then if you get hit by something that hits you for 100%, when you still have that part of the shield, then you won't die from that hit, but instead you'll go down to like, what is it, 140, down to 40% HP.
Yeah.
So if used, at the right time, but you'll have to really closely look at what part is yellow. Do you see any yellow? Do you see any shield HP? And pot at the right time to make sure that helps you. But so there are some ways, and mainly people use it now, I think, for bursting because of the hyper skill, right? I think 15% damage.
Yeah.
So it's also a little bit extra burst when you're soloing on bosses where the survivability isn't as important.
Oh, they actually upgraded? Shield reinforced damage plus 15%.
Yep. I think they did that when
But with you switch it out with what?
I think in general, the further you go in the game, people divest in the hyper skills from the top 3. They actually get away from those, and they go more for the bottom ones. In the beginning, the top ones are very good because you just get raw damage when you're just doing bosses. But as you build out your character more, it's more important to have the utility of the bottom ones. So they actually, I think, take the healing of the resonance rushes, and they take the longer duration of the ether guard. They basically take all the ones at the bottom, except for one. There's like one that heals HP or something.
Have one of those.
Mm-hmm. I think that's normal.
Trigger.
Yeah.
The first 3.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Rain of Destruction plus 4 seconds and Ether Bloom.
Yeah, I think that's the normal setup if you're just grinding. But if you're gonna focus more on bossing, then you go more away from the top ones and more into the bottom ones.
So I could switch out the ignore defense 20% on sleeve.
Typically, because if you go further, you'll have you have the familiars, you'll have your superior Golics, right? That stuff.
Yeah.
And you have the Noble Summons debuff, and you have your Grave Proclamation, so your boost nodes. Excuse me, all of that ID will start coming in, and then it's not as important anymore. Then the utility of a longer shield or anything that can actually help you save a life or commit more damage during your burst, that'll be functionally better.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, other than that, everything looks fine here on the matrix. Your stats. Yeah, you got your Strength on 8. You have like a little bit in weapon attack, maybe a little bit in arcane power.
Don't think so.
Oh, your arcane power is red, so maybe it's from the event
yeah,
buff though.
I got a 10 on attack power.
Okay. If you have 10, the way that you want to think about it though, if you have 10 in attack and you have 8 in strength, that combined, that's a lot of stat. That's probably enough to get like a level somewhere in the middle. And do you have 2 setups as well, like with your link skills for your hyperstats? One for mobbing, one for bossing? Yeah.
I got EXP plus 11, normal damage, monsters 11, damage 11, and crit damage 11.
Yeah. Okay. And then in your bossing one, in your mobbing one and in your bossing one, you always want to have the boss damage or the normal monster damage be the same or higher than your damage. Because once you go past level 5, you get 4% instead of 3 for damage. So it's like a small thing now. But like if I see your hyperstats here, what I would probably do is just like optimization brain on, right? If you don't need if you need arcane power to hit like some kind of damage, then that's the most important. But if you don't need the arcane power, then you can probably go a little bit lower on the attack and on the strength, probably up to like 6 or 7 or something, and then get your boss damage to 11 and probably the critical damage to 11 before you get your regular damage past 10. Because if you look at your critical damage is pretty low on Adele. And that's because your Legion isn't completely built out yet. You probably don't have like mass critical damage on your gloves, right? And you don't have the Kinesis Link skill. So your critical damage value now is actually really high, even if it's only 1% per level, and it feels not very high, because your existing critical damage is pretty low. It's going to significantly give you a pretty big percentage to how much you already have. So it's going to be more significant of an upgrade.
Okay.
But yeah, in general, if you start seeing like strength and attack, and you'll see that around level 250, when you can, reliably get it like past level 8 and like up to level 10, then it's probably a good idea to lower them instead and push the other things at 10, like past 10 and to 11 and stuff.
Okay, so I should reset and switch out attack power.
Yeah, it's probably not a huge difference. I'm telling you, like from optimization point, like if you're gonna level past that on the Lumi, for example. Now, I'm sure if you change that, it might make your damage a little bit better, but I don't know if you will see significant difference. But, overall, if you're switching the links around, you're switching the hyperstats around, maybe the Legion board moves a little bit and grows, and we optimize the gear a little bit, all of those things together will probably have more of a noticeable effect, yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, your stat window looks pretty clean. I don't really remember what range you should be having at that, because, range is all over the place.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of HP, or is it...
A lot of HP.
I don't know, you have 87,000? I don't remember if Adele usually has this much. I'm wondering if you have like a lot of percentage HP lines now that I'm gonna have to look out for.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. Maybe everything is like 2 line strength, 1 line HP, and then it just
maybe.
keeps adding up, yeah. No, other than that, it seems good. And you have full mezzo and drop gear on this character, right?
Yeah.
Giving symbols, yeah, and you're doing the dailies whenever you want to, whenever you can, but you've got 20, and then the other ones are all quite nicely up there. Yeah. And that's good progress. And then you have most of the stuff legendary. The ring is unique, so I'm gonna assume it's just like 2 or 3 line strength.
Yeah, it's a superior, so no, it's not that great, but it's a superior, so I didn't want to commit. It's a master craftsman, so
yeah, because of transferring, right? Same thing.
Yeah.
And the earring, did you get that recently, that it's still epic, or is it the same reason as the
no ring? The same reason.
Okay.
But it has a 2 line 6% strength, so...
Okay, yeah, that's fine though.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, so you stuck to the tier 5 on the weapon because of the 15%.
Yeah.
One extra line is... Do you know, from off the top of your head, is it like 142 or something?
Actually, I don't know. It's 295?
Yeah, 295, yeah.
200. It's
yeah, 142.
142.
Yeah. Yeah,
Should
that
be
comes down
better,
to
but I mean
budget.
it's the budget. I think I put like 500 mil max.
Yeah, the further you go into the game, the more you'll have like an idea of how far you are with all of the sources of damage you have, and the more you can like, okay, do I want to reflame? Sometimes it's hard to conceptualize, like, is this worth it, right? Because it's like 15% damage. So what would be like a realistic flame to go to? You can use a calculator, see how much it'll cost. What most people will end up trying to go for example, is like a tier 6 attack with a tier 5 boss damage, for example. Like that's like a really good spot for an arcane to be at.
Okay.
You can see it's like 2.5 to 3.5 bill though. So that's like, okay, do I want to make that move now? Like, what if I settle for 8? Like, that's quite a lot cheaper. 8 would be like pretty good as well. And what you would look at compared to this is be like, okay, what would I lose? So you'd lose 5 to 7% damage, but you gain 34 attack. And then you can think, okay, where does attack and damage both exist so that I can kind of compare it? And one thing that we just were looking at was the hyperstats, for example, right? So like 34 attack in your hyperstats and 7% damage. So 7% damage would be about 2 lines of like boss damage, right? So 2 levels. But 34 attack would be, is it 4 per level? Is it level 9 or something?
Yeah, it's 30 at level 10, so it's 3.
Yeah. So if you compare it on that ground of like how does hyperstat compare, you know, flaming around and then switching your hyperstats around, that would give you way more value in your hyperstats, right? Or so the flame would be more valuable because you can see in your hyperstats how those stats compare to each other and how valuable they are in that system. Another system where they compare is in your Legion, you know, with the blocks of boss damage and the blocks of attack in the middle. If you compare like 30, you have to do 34 blocks of attack versus like 5 or 7 blocks of boss damage instead, right? That's how they compare to each other. So if you look at it that way, it's kind of more intuitive to see that the flame upgrade is probably good, but then the question is, you know, how much does it cost and when do you do it, right? That's more the question. But if you're, for you and for anyone else watching, I guess, at home, if you're having certain stats that compare to each other in a certain way and you just don't know how you're supposed to compare them, and you don't want to go through like a whole calculator and take like 2 hours to put all your stats in, right? That's kind of a way that you can look at how do they compare to each other right now by looking at other systems where they both exist. So I would say definitely what's way more important than that is just eventually getting it to 17 star if you are trying to gain more damage compared to where you are now. Because I guess the first question should be, what can you already do on the Adele? Is there extra stuff you want to do? Do you feel like the Adele is decently strong where it is now? Are you happy with its performance?
Lotus and Damien is Breeze. Normal Slime and Easy Lucid I didn't try, but with my friend we want to start and do it duo. So we don't know if we can clear normal Lucid, but it's not our it's not our main. So it's like a time issue. So if normal Lucid takes 15 minutes, maybe we'll just say we'll go easy Lucid and
my Adele is close. So my Adele's 250. I think I'm at 32k stats, so I'm like a little bit higher there. My ID and my crit damage and my boss damage is a bit higher, right, because of the Legion. But I do normal slime, I think, solo in about in 8 minutes, I think 7 or 8 minutes.
Okay.
And then from what I heard in the chat, easy lucid should be a bit longer. So that should probably be closer to like 11 minutes or something. So if you're gonna duo, you probably do it faster than those times, definitely, right? Because you're already almost where I'm at with the Adele. So with practice. So I think if you're doing it, you should very clearly be able to do it like within guild skills, and then maybe do some other bosses right after that within like the same time. Okay, with some, nice. With some practice and some optimization.
Yeah, I was running a hard lucid on Adele. So. A normal wheel.
I see. Wait, do you know your BA for the Adele?
No, I actually didn't do once.
Damn, I wanted you to copy yours. Damn, now I can't do that. Okay. Someone has to do it so I can copy it. Damn it. Okay, well let's make sure that we get through it, all of the stuff, because there's a lot. Yeah, so you see all your CRA stuff. We got a 16 and to 18, so I'm guessing you wanted to get all of it to 18, and that's where all the money went on the hat, right?
My hat 14B to get it to 16. So
from 17 to 16, 14 bill.
Yeah, that's it.
Unfortunate. And then most of the Abzo at 17. Oh yeah, so yeah. Well, the question that what you were talking about is that if you can do everything that you want to be able to do on the Adele, right? So it's mostly going to be like small tweaks here and there, just to make sure that the things you already have access to, you are giving the most value. For example, like if you have these Absolab shoes, I think it's fine to have 23% strength. It's fine to have 17 stars. But you probably want to get a slightly better flame on that, just because the potential for a better flame is so high that it's a pretty small investment just to round it out. And I'm not saying that just upgrading your shoe makes any difference, but if you take everything just to a slightly higher level, you'll feel that everything that you can already do on the Adele is just going to be that much faster and that much cleaner.
Okay.
And plus you can do it with like free flames that you get from bosses, right? And it's not like a direct investment. It's more like a using the stuff that you're going to get anyway and putting them to good use.
Yeah, it won't be a big downgrade.
Exactly, as well, yeah. If you get a shitty flame, it's also not like, oh, now I can't kill anything anymore, you know. Whereas if you do that with your weapon, that's way more of a financial commitment, because now you need a safety net. Otherwise, you are going to feel a big difference, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's like the general standard, I would say. So I think the WSE is fine. Ideally, you'd have like one line of ID in there, but you're at 93 visual. So as long as you build out your Legion a bit more. Yeah, exactly. So as long as you build out your Legion, you should be fine where you're at. So I wouldn't touch that at all. And you're getting some crit out of that as well, which can also help. You can build around that. That gives you freedom in your hyper stats and in your grid build. The C-Ray Flames, yeah, there may be, I guess the hat is maybe a little bit lower than you would want. The top is probably like an okay number to be at. So the hat is like 8, you know, it's like 1% all stat below that. So it's not terrible, but it's like, you know, it's a little bit lower than that. But probably put a little bit more effort into the flames of the Abzo first, because I think that has decent room for growth. So aim for like, probably like, you know, something like 80, 85 flame score around there.
Okay.
Will probably be a good amount. Heart is nice. B mark is yeah. I mean that's where it's at, right? It's good. And flames on the non-flame advantage stuff is gonna be pretty garbage, but the potentials look good. And I guess if you have like if you're doing bosses and you're getting a lot of Master Craftsman cubes, eventually you'll get your Superior Godlix earrings up, or maybe you know if with the unique potential scroll or something, you throw that one on there and just use Master Craftsman's.
Yeah. But I mean, with 12% strength, I didn't think it was.
Oh, here it is 9. Did you re-roll it since then?
It's 9. I don't even know.
Well, it also has 12 strength, so maybe you thought 3-line strength, so you thought 3-3-3 maybe. That's possible. Well, I mean 9 and 12 is pretty close either way, but.
Oh yeah, it's 9. But
like for bossing mules, I'm okay with 12. But. Okay. So again, it'll be part of the bigger picture. If you're like, I like the Lumi way more. There's so much I have to work on the Lumi, and I could still use my Master Craftsman, and I can still use my Meisters. Yeah, that's totally fine too. And we could just look. I mean, yeah, you probably throw some Master Craftsmen at your.
But if I can optimize to get better. I mean.
Yeah, just to make those weeklies just a little bit smoother. Yeah. The event rings are really nice, of course. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, maybe a little bit more strength from the Superior Ring, right? That's probably pretty simple.
Yeah.
But the Gun of Treasure is already 15, and the Pendant's 30. I'm guessing that when you are going to do your Lumi, are you going to aim for a little bit higher flame score?
On what?
On the Pendant before you transpose.
The Pendant cost me 27 mil, 3 flames, so I just settled.
Yeah, you said, oh fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was worth doing like a 2B to gain 5 stats.
To gain 5 stats, yeah. Yeah, the thing is, it's 5 stat, but it's multiplied, and then once you have like 600% stat, the 5 stat turns into 30 stat, right?
Yeah.
So that's like the idea for the longer term.
Yeah, but
I can totally understand. Yeah. No,
so
mine is.
I was working towards the dreadnought, so I wasn't really stressed about that.
For sure.
So on another Dominator, I was throwing flames, and maybe if I get a 120 or 115, I'll transpose back. But
yeah. Okay. No,
that
I
was
mean,
my reasoning.
Yeah. No, that
this.
seems fine. I mean, other than like the potential on the, that's like the, like the potential on the ring, and maybe getting the weapon to 17. Other than that, maybe the earring, right? Maybe the earring unique, or if you want to get that'll be like some easy damage. Other than that, I would just say, get the flames of the Absolab up, and then your character, it'll probably be 31, 31.5 or something, and then all of those bosses that you want to do up to easy, maybe normal lucid, if you want to try a little harder, then those should be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the 1-line critical damage, all that. Yeah, that's fine. Good. And this is like the old drop gear. I guess it's retired for now.
No. Actually, I need to grind it up so I can make money to fund Luminous.
I see, yeah. Is the... well, the Luminous is getting... it's got like decent drop in Meso there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess we can get more into the Lumi now, because we are...
Yeah.
The time is creeping up on us.
Yeah. I don't know how much time.
We have about 20 minutes left.
Okay.
But you have to go to dinner as well, right?
Yeah, it's at 6:30 for me, so in 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought you have to like run.
No. It's because of the time zones.
Yeah, exactly. So for the Lumi, we talked about the inner ability already, right?
Yeah.
And how are you doing with like Meso and drop rate gear? I guess to continue on that.
It's not tearing up.
You've got you got a beautiful Mechanator pendant that was supposed to be.
Yeah. But
6% all stat line even just to.
And 21% def. I love it.
Amazing. Oh yeah, and 18 on the condensed power crystal.
Yeah.
And 15
it's
on the aquatic.
Yeah, it's
lovely.
It's sick.
Yeah.
That's a lot of I don't know what happened, but I mean,
it's a love-hate relationship thing.
Yeah.
So it's mainly drop rate you're missing, right? Because I think you have most of the Meso.
One drop rate.
Which is not bad, because if you can get a familiar with drop rate,
I get it. The normal one.
The normal. Okay, so that's 50%, right?
Yep.
Well, but that doesn't help you with the Meso bags. Haha. So you would need Meso drop rate as well.
Oh, really?
You know how that works with drop rate?
Yeah, but I thought the God, the familiars that I thought the 50% was working for Meso and drop, and the Meso was just for Meso.
Yeah, that would be logical, but this is MapleStory, and we don't do logic here. So God. when it comes to familiars, item drop rate and Meso drop rate is specifically split. So item drop rate is every item that's not Meso, and Meso drop rate is only Meso. And on all of your other items, it's together, like you thought. Yeah.
But I thought the familiar item drop rate would drop Meso bags.
Yeah, that's what I thought in the beginning as well. But then people did research and it was like, nope, not the case. So if you have something that does item and Meso drop rate, if you like the old spider line, right? That one, like a large amount, that one would be really good. But right now this is 40%. So if you can get like increases Meso drop rate with like no other mention, that would be enough as well. So if you can equip that one and the item drop rate at the same time, and then you will get 100% chance for bags as well. Because right now, you have 2 lines of drop, so you have 40%. And how much is your holy symbol giving you? It's level 1, but it's in level 5 slot, maybe, or no?
Yeah, maybe. I think.
Yeah, so level 6. So I don't know how much that's giving, but that's not going to be enough. So you need at least some
But
kind of meso drop rate. Yeah.
I didn't play for a while. I didn't totem for a while, so I got a lot of Legion coins. So I
That will
take
help you.
the drop rate coupon.
Drop rate coupon will also be enough. Yeah, that will also help you get the bags. Yeah, and then hopefully
So I didn't
droplets
see the
and
difference
notes.
because of this.
Yeah. If you had the coupon, yes, exactly. If you had those on, then you wouldn't have seen the difference. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I started the ping bean this week because of the pre-quest change. I wasn't doing this.
You weren't doing what?
Not the ping bean pre-quest and the.
Oh right, yeah. You
I did the
postponed
Arcarium
it
just
so that you could.
because of the Dominator, but
Yeah.
God.
What a lovely boss fight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got some nice warrior flames. I see. Nice 40 and 6 on the pants.
Yeah.
Welcome to and your Adele gets the 40 and 6 intellect, right? And then your Luminous gets the 40 and 6 strength.
Yeah.
That's that's how it always is. Always. And the potentials, you roll only strength and then only int on the other one.
Yeah.
Well, except on your accessories, you roll a good int. So, yeah, okay, but this is a good. Yeah, I mean, this is a good situation. I mean, it's just like a little bit more drop rate, and then boom, you're in, right?
Yeah.
And then you can truly fire this one. Yeah, WC is nice. The weapon is probably a good idea to reroll, not because this is bad.
I didn't have money left.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Just, I was waiting for that session.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, just for the people at home, not because this is bad or anything, and especially not if you're going to be mainly mobbing, but for total utility, there's a lot of missed potential because boss damage and IED and magic attack are out, so you have a lot of potential for improvement on this. Not necessarily that it's bad, but, you know, because it can be a lot better.
I should get the IED on the WSC, just one line to get enough for CRA, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're at 90.7 visual, so that is pretty good. And you're only at 10.
I think that's with the blooming
event buff? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just let me double check, but I think that's it.
And do you have FAMs maybe on as well? Or?
I just got one slot. I was looking to do it on Kishinkana, but yeah, I didn't have motivation, so.
A lot of lack of motivation these days for Kanas, I heard.
Yeah, but right now I'm at 83 point. Yeah, 83 without FAMs.
With like 86 with or 85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my boost nodes are not quite up there.
Also not
at 40, so.
Yeah. Yeah, they're 30, low 30s. Yeah, so one line in WC is probably good. That means you have a lot of outs, right? You can have like one line boss, one line magic attack, one line IED. Two line boss, one line IED could even be a good one. Because you probably are still strong enough to kill the monsters near your level, even if you don't get any magic attack on the weapon. So there's a decent amount of outs there that can help you forward across, you know, the content that your character can do without hurting you in any other way. So that's probably a good idea.
Oh yeah, I have 2 questions for the Matrix.
Yeah, okay.
I'll sound like noob Luminous because I don't know my character, but Batism. I don't know what the fuck it does.
Which one?
The Baptism of Light. It's my main bossing skill, I think, but I don't know. I just use it when I'm bursting, or.
Yeah, that's a good question. Remember, Lumi's in the chat. The way I understand it is that if you hit with a certain skill, it builds a stack, and there's a certain amount of stacks. I think it's, is it 12 or something? And then when you hit that, you basically just always want to use it to keep your, because it's like it helps your DPM as well, and you should always have one at least during Equilibrium. You'll always build it up anyway. So because you can spam Ender then, right? And then it builds up way faster, and then you want to use it. And I think you want to use at least 2 of them during every Equilibrium to make sure that because that's basically where all of your burst goes around. That and the other, the one with the orbs, right?
Yeah, and I should use mana overload.
Yeah, that's just final damage all the time. I think it doesn't scale insanely well with leveling up, so that's not as important, but it's really nice to just have it on. You'll get used to the MP costs, and I believe it's like 7% final damage just for level 1 just to have it on, which is, 7% final damage to everything you're doing, right? So that's really nice.
Should I get it in mobbing and bossing?
So for bossing, it can be maybe a little bit riskier if it like gets your MP too low. So that's something that you will have to kind of get used to. But as you get better at the bosses, you would always have it on, yeah. For mobbing, I think it's probably pretty high level to have it on, yeah, because as long as you have all of your your relevant mobbing skills on, it's decently high, because again, remember what I talked about with the Adele, right? You're trying to keep your baseline damage up so that you can train in maps where you can kill fast, and that you don't have to like look back and pick up like straggling mobs, right? So if you have something that gives you final damage, that's always good, because that means, especially if it's 100% uptime, because that means your baseline of damage just goes up, your minimum damage goes up, which means the monsters that you can now one-shot can be stronger, so you can maybe move on to another map, or if some other skills are down, that means that you're not getting punished because the monsters are still dying. So in general, that could be a good idea. But it's also possible that you can kill without it, and then you might as well just remove it and switch it out with something else, like maybe character building or something, like the special node that can give you more EXP. If you find that you're still one-shotting in an area and you're not really moving to the next one, that's also might be the one that you get rid of the easiest.
Okay. At the level that I don't know, I don't have a lot of slot, so I want to put in their reflection and apocalypse. So, and spectral light, is it good for bossing? Because in your matrix boost node, it tells to put in there, but reflection does twice the damage of a spectral light.
Yeah, it should definitely be it's definitely on the first on the first trinode, right? Reflection, Apocalypse, Ender, yeah. And then it says here Spectral Light, Morningstar, Death Sight.
Because
optional extra node if you like the skills or you have extra space in the matrix. Yeah, so those are probably fine to like bench for now. I think it's mostly situational.
When I build my boost nodes, I check at your document, and the error that I made with Adele is try to get the perfect boost nodes. It was impossible. So with my new characters, I just take the first one at the top and save it out, and when I get a lot, I try to solve it to get 2 of each within the 6 boost node that I have.
For Adele, it says. I mean, that's why I add a little bit of text at the end as well, because I'm pretty sure for Adele, you use all of the skills for both mobbing and bossing, so you always want to have 4 in, right? So you're more free to mix and match in the beginning, which means you can get your perfect nodes very easily on Adele, right? Because there's not that much variance. And then for Lumi, it might be a bit more important to really just have those 2 sets of those 3, which I don't think you specifically have, right?
It's 2 sets of boost nodes, by 4.
Yeah, but they're mixed. They're mixed differently than the way that they're mentioned in the vMatrix command, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Apocalypse, Reflection, and Doomsight. Ender, Morningstar, Spectral Light, Reflection, Morningstar, Ender, and Doomsight, Apocalypse, and Spectral Light.
Yeah. So I guess the 2 with
But I mean, I need those.
I guess when you're mobbing, is it pretty much only Reflection that you're using?
Not in the Arcana. I tried
use Ender.
I will try
or Apocalypse
grind in Earth Spirits.
But
Yeah, it's mostly reflection, but I don't think I'm don't think I have quite the damage to reflection in dark mode. At Dark Canyon.
Yeah, because you lose a lot of lines, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Apocalypse is not that bad. It has a decent hitbox as well. And now that your teleport is better, might actually be better to actually get around the map and use Apocalypse maybe.
Yeah, I don't mind it because it's just a switch of things.
And it helps you get to reflection faster, so that's also nice.
Yeah, I reflection, I just sleep, and when it's apocalypse time, I wake up and teleport.
Yeah. Oh. Your alarm goes off.
Yeah.
It's been 30 seconds. Oh shit.
Yeah.
back to using brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess for optimization's sake, it'd probably be better just to have the set of tries, really just that first set of tries, because that's really way more important than that second set. The second set is really, like it says, it's really just optional if you really just have the space for it. And I think at this earlier stage of the game, you probably have too many other things that are valuable to you that you could throw in, even when you're mobbing. You know, like the mana overload, maybe like another AoE skill or some you know, a decent skill, or the character building, right? If you're training and you want to get more EXP, those will probably be more valuable than those skills that you're just not going to use, like the Spectral Light and the Death Sight and the Morningstar.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that's something you're in general probably already looking for anyway, right? Whenever you're opening nodes.
Not actually, because I was thinking it's 4 boost node. It's not like Canada, it has 6 and.
If you're going to be leveling fast and you're going to be buying up the next slots, then you can probably get past this bump pretty quickly as well. But if you feel like you don't want to buy the extra or the leveling is not as fast, then you know you could also switch them out.
I don't want to get to a certain point that I don't want shot and don't have the arcane power and all of this. So.
I guess a mid solution could be the one that you have that's level 7. I guess that one doesn't do anything for you in mobbing right now, right? Because it's Ender, Morningstar, and Spectral Light?
Yeah.
So that one you could switch out for the mana overload for now, and then when you get more levels, then you can put it back in.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would do in the
because
short term.
Mana overload, it's a toggle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You just toggle it on and boom, final damage. It was really nice for Project CRA to boost my mages.
Yeah. Okay.
Except on Blaze Wizard, it was a little bit yikes. If you press down the fireballs and you have that on, you just your entire mana bar just disappears in 1.5 seconds.
I don't have one sickness.
Okay. You won't have that problem then.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So I'll just switch it out if it can help me.
Yep. Yeah, I think it might not feel like a huge change immediately, but of course with every single upgrade you make, basically every single upgrade you do from now on is going to be 7% more efficient. Yeah. Because it's 7% final damage source. So, you know, with all of your money you spend, it's part of the part of the puzzle. So you're moving into Absolab stuff with this character?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for my trade. And I get the full Abso.
Are you going to be like foddering 150 into the Abso?
Oh no.
Because that saves money if you do that.
With the Van Leon?
Well, not necessarily Von Leon, but like the Ramaru stuff, right? And or the root equips, like the level 150 stuff.
That I can buy from the shop.
Yeah, so you can buy the root shoes from the Root Abyss shop, and you can buy the root gloves from the black market where Magnus is. And then for capes, you can get the Enraged Sakum cape, right, from Czak. And then for belts, you know, right, the Pink Bean belt. I think you had a lot of those on the Adele as well.
The Adele, yeah.
But that's more for the superior stuff.
With the Lumi yesterday, I think so.
Well, because the main thing is if all of your stuff is rather low Star Force and you know only up to like epic potential, then I would advise to do it because you're saving like with Star Force, right? So you get the fodder, you get some backups, you get it to 15, hopefully during a 30% off. You know, if there's a Shining Star Force, you do that, of course. And then during 5, 10, 15, get it up to 16, transfer it into the Abzo, and then the Abzo again to 16, and just safeguard the last star. That saves you about 600 mil in average cost, because you don't have to safeguard the whole way up, because the fodder you can just not safeguard. So, you know, if it's 5 pieces, and you save 600 mil each, that's 3 bills, so that's like, you know, that's 3 drop rate equips, basically, right? So that's good value
but
early
right
on.
now, I should get my full Mezzo drop gear, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but you're really close, right? So if you have, like you said, if you're using the drop rate coupons, you actually have it already. So you're close, but a little bit of extra drop rate would be nice. But I understand that you wouldn't roll over those 3 pieces that you have. So another option would be...
it was just a main thing. Because I don't, which character that I will main. You know? So that's my issue right now.
Well, I mean, I would keep the int here. But if you go for... Right, I wouldn't roll over these pieces. I would see either, like, for the eye, you get, like, a beam mark, or maybe a monocle, and then maybe a tattoo, or, you know? Like, go for
you'll
another
get something
piece.
else.
Yeah.
On the Mechanator, you'll get a backup and roll it on there.
Yeah, because... And then if that one rolls more intellect, then you can roll over this one and roll this one for drop or mezzo. But if the other one rolls drop or mezzo...
that will become the next bossing gear.
Exactly. If the potential is this good, that determines what roll it gets. This is too good to roll over, I would say, this early. It's too much of a loss, yeah.
Yeah, that was my thinking, but I mean, I want to make those totem profitable, so...
Yeah. Yeah, but like you said, if you have the drop coupon on, then you're definitely at least getting the mezzo that you would get otherwise. Maybe if you don't have all the drop rate lines, you might get a few less nodes, you know, fewer nodes and fewer you know, droplets and that stuff if you get to the higher levels. But at least you're getting the mezzos that you're supposed to get, right? Because you've got 5 mezzo obtain, and then with these lines and with the coupon, then you have enough to get a bag from every monster.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Well, it's 67% that you're trying to get.
Yeah.
So 50%, and then 2 lines, you're at 90%, so you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I guess for CRA you could fodder, but probably just keep doing CRA and get backups, right? So you can do it straight on the equips. And,
I just did one time. I traded and.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're trying to do so. We actually cleared the Bonbon and Chaos Queen with Luminous and Night Lord.
Nice.
Quite easily, but after we tried Pierre split.
Did you run or did you try to split?
Do you want the real answer?
Yes.
Fucked up.
Oh, you healed the other one up all the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then kill the other one?
We just no. I think we have the burst, but I mean, we just didn't bind our. I don't know what happened, but it didn't work.
Yeah, something.
He split, and when we saw him split, we have 5 left, 5 life left, and we get up.
Yeah.
We
waste your time.
Didn't even try. Yeah, and then we don't have IED, so that's the issue there.
Yeah.
But with the IED, should I roll what potential on my WSC should I roll?
Well, I think you're... Yeah, I like your secondary and your emblem. I think your weapon has the most value that it can get. If you end up rolling like only magic attack or combination of magic attack and boss, that's fine too. But that probably means that either you want to roll your emblem, or what I like more is just to work on your legion more to get more IED out of there, and on your familiars. And then the combination should get you enough to carry you over until you get your superior Galax.
Because I have a nice
and you get a little bit from the Abzo set as well, right?
But
Abzo set I think gives a little bit as well once you get that.
Yeah.
Only like 10%, but
yeah, 10%.
It's something, you know, all the little bits add up.
Yeah, 2 more familiars would help.
Yeah,
also,
that would help a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, because of how expensive the WC can be, I think it makes more sense to just open some FAMs and, you know, level some low-level Legion characters to build out your grid, rather than spend a whole lot of money on getting something different on your emblem when it's already 2-line magic attack. Because then you're talking about billions.
But on my weapon, should I get one line at least of IED and wait for superior? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you roll like a line of IED and a line of magic attack, or if you roll like a line of, what would be the outs? I would say a line of IED, a line of magic attack, or a line of IED, a line of boss, and a line of intellect or something, or a line of IED and then any combination of boss and magic attack. Any combination there would be good.
But I mean, boss damage doesn't carry me.
No, that's
if I don't have the IED, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Ideally, you want to get ID and boss damage, or ID and magic attack. If you only get magic attack and boss damage, then the pressure is on your familiars and the pressure is on your legion.
Yeah.
Which
because with my Adele, I had my weapon with 40% IED, and when I switched up on superior, I just
then you can switch it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Easy. So I don't know if I should stick to the main route.
Yeah. The other thing that you could do on the side,
with the emblem and the secondary, is like 2 lines of magic attack, but.
Yeah, what most classes do on the side, is they get a Princess No secondary on the side and they just start rolling that to see if they get something. But I think for you, the Princess No secondary is not that much better, right?
I don't actually know.
Because I think it's one of those that doesn't give magic attack, but just stats, if I'm not mistaken. Princess No.
I would love it. I wouldn't have to get to legendary.
Oh, here. Yeah, I think it's 14. Oh.
14 what? Intellect?
14 intellect and 14 luck, yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah. I'm not switching.
Better, but that's a lot of money for such a small upgrade, right?
Yeah. It's in average 1 billion to get it to legendary, right?
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, so
for 14,
I don't think it's...
Yeah, no. Once you get to that point, you'll know when you're there.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to donkey roll for 3 line, then you might as well do it, because then that 1 bill is almost nothing in the tens of billions that the total is going to be.
Yeah.
But until then, this is fine.
It's 17 stars before the donkey roll 3 line, I think.
I think it's even 21s on like CRA before you do that.
Yeah. But no, not on the hat. I don't want.
21 hat, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I... So, if I do a summary, I get my drop and meso gear to the point that I want, 160. After, I should maybe roll a IED line on my weapon, right?
Or 180 probably, right? Because 9 pieces, right?
80? Yeah.
Yeah, because you have 9 accessories, so 100%.
Even
80%.
though I have a holy symbol, just to start.
I just like capping it. Yeah, you're gonna get some. I think I just like it because of nodes. And like you said, like if you want to get more outs on your weapon, and you don't want to be too reliant on the magic attack of your weapon, then your boost nodes and your arcane power is where you want to get a lot of damage from, and then that take more pressure off of your CRA and your Absolab not being there, and still being able to one-shot on like when you're in Arcana and stuff.
Okay.
Or be able to one-shot with like being able to keep like your CRA at unique and not having to go to the horrible legendary, which you probably noticed on your Adele as well, right? Going legendary on CRA to roll stats.
I think I got lucky. So
maybe
2 lines with me. It was.
Not too
it
bad.
was my it was the first not cube cell, but
like a DMT.
Yeah, a DMT. So it was my first pieces that get to legendary in my whole life. So
nostalgia.
Yeah, nostalgia.
The first green border.
Here.
Yeah, it's so good. The first green border, I said.
Yeah. I was so hyped.
Yeah, but yeah, now you know if you do meso and drop first, then you get so much more money, and then you can make even more green gears a little bit later.
Yeah, and feels better doing totems and spending 2 hours on grinding.
Yeah, you feel the reward for your time spent way faster.
Yeah. Should I try to get at least one line of utility stats on my Meso drop right now, or I'm not quite there.
I don't think so, because you're going towards the Abzo, and there's so much room to grow right now in CRA and for Abzo.
Yeah.
That you probably want to just make sure that you have all your money available for that, because if we do get the Shining Star Force, you want to be able to throw all your money at that, and then after that you probably want to be able to buy the heart as well, right? The fairy heart and upgrade that one.
That's a question that I had. Should I get heart on Lumi, even though I'm not quite not quite sure that it will be my main, but should I get the heart on the blooming event?
Oh, you still have the blooming one? Yeah, then I would definitely, because Destiny has one as well. So
yeah,
if you
that's it.
do decide to switch, you can still buy one. Yeah.
Even though I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, 2 bill is a lot now, but in the grand scheme of things, if you could ever choose, like, would you rather have a heart or have 2 bill more Meso, you would always pick a heart on like a character that, even if it's just a bossing mule, eventually. It's just really good value.
So I'm banging it now.
Because, well, like you said, if you still could buy the Blooming Forest one, then I would just get it on the Lumi, because if you do eventually decide I don't want to main this, then you can just buy the Destiny heart on that other character.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yep.
So I don't have 4B left right now.
Well, the other event stays. The other event shop stays until I think until September or something. So.
Yeah.
Was it like September 6th or some shit, or September 4th? Yeah, so you have a little bit of time.
Do I cube that thing now, or?
The heart? Yeah. So the heart is in the highest tier for value, because it has the lowest amount of junk lines. So it's a really good thing to throw like extra Master Craftsman cubes at and get some nice unique lines, I would say. Like an easy 12 or 15%.
Okay.
Pretty cheap. But I would do most of it, like, first a little bit organically, with just from bosses, right? The cubes and the flames and that kind of stuff. As long as you have the general priority of, like, okay, I'm working on, let's say for the Lumi, I'm working on the heart, so I want to keep rolling until that has 12 or 15. And then if it has that, and I have extra cubes, and I don't really have anything else to work on, then maybe you work on the Adele on the superior ring, right? Maybe you try to get 12 there. And then maybe you roll on the earrings on the Adele, and then maybe by then you have an Abzo piece. But then, if you're going to be transferring over into the Abzo piece, then the flames will go to Abzo, but the cubes won't go to Abzo yet, right? Because your potential is going to get rolled over if you do the transfer. So then, you can keep just rolling on the items you already have and try to get some nice stats. And then, but then the flames will have a different priority. And then once the flames are done there, then maybe, you do work more on the flames on the Adele, just to get those Abzo up a little bit more. And that way you just try to see, like, where in your account can every item that you get to upgrade get the best value for it.
Okay.
And the more bossy mules you have, the more pieces you have, and the more, the higher you can put the bar, or the faster you can blow through your characters in like, the first pass, be like, I want to get 9% on everything. And like, oh, now everything is 9. Oh, now I want to get 12% on everything, And then and then the general rule is to get the so like the heart and badges, if you have those first, and then the second group is the accessories. Those have the second lowest amount of junk line, so you get the best value for your cubes, higher chance of better outcomes.
Okay, so should I roll that heart before my weapon, or?
I think it's probably safe now to roll the weapon first.
Yeah.
And the heart is probably okay, only like up to unique with like 1 or 2, like at least 9 or 12%, I would say, just
with
like
some
with Master Craftsman.
Cubes, just on the side.
Exactly. And then,
because I don't really need it to one-shot them out, so...
Exactly, it'll just be help. I would say the main thing you want to do is just save as much money as you can for for the fodder and for the stuff, and hopefully for superior and for the CRA on the Lumi, and then hopefully once we get the Shining Star Force event, if we get that, then you'll have all of your money available, and then you can go hard on Star Force and make like a huge jump on the Lumi.
Yeah, so. In the grand scheme of things, I should get Meso drop and cube my weapon just to get something better, and just save up for shiny, right?
Yeah, that's the main. I would say that's the main thing. And work on getting art. Yeah, and work on getting backups. so that when the event comes around, you have all the backups you need. You don't have to safeguard. You can just slam it all.
Yeah, I will safeguard Absolute. So
yes, yeah,
or
fuck the weeklies.
Like you said, I forwarded them with the with the CR ratings.
The CRA, well, with the CRA pieces, well, that could only go into the hat, right? And you don't want to do the hat. You want to keep the CRA hat, so you'll have to do the
but for the gloves,
or
it's a
yeah. Well, yeah.
Glove box?
Yeah,
no?
Root Abyss has yeah. I usually don't call them CRA gloves though, because it's like root gloves. Because it's not part of the CRA set, so I was confused there. My bad.
Okay, sorry.
But yeah, the Root Abyss gloves, or
but I can buy them from the boxes and.
Oh, not even the boxes. You can buy them just individually. So you don't even have to buy them early. You can just buy them on the day of an event itself, so you don't have to clog your inventory. It's quite nice. Same thing with the gloves from the black market, where Magnus is with the Magnus coins, and the shoes from the Root Abyss shop. And KMS is also adding later. They're adding capes and shoulders as well that fit those transfer slots later, but those are not out yet. That'll probably be after the Destiny update. But it is kind of nice because right now, you know, we have Ranmaru, but like KMS has nothing there, so they can't even transfer if they wanted to.
Yeah, but we're cry babies.
Yeah,
here.
For sure. We have so much, and then still not enough.
Yeah, but I think we got enough.
Yeah, I think so. But they're adding like a 230 and a 130 and a 150 shoulder. So if you get a nice potential on a Royal Black Metal shoulder, you could transfer it all the way into Abzo from there. So that's kind of nice. The whole conga line. +1, -1, +1, -1, +1, -1. Let's keep going.
Okay, so my main focus should be for the Shining Star Force, wherever I get my main. If I like more Ice Lightning, I just switch my accessories to Intellect and.
Yeah. The same thing with the Kana, basically, right? Where you can have that as a fallback option. Yeah, and then you'll definitely have an easier time getting to those harder bosses.
But I need IED on Kano and Lumi. That's my problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why the Legion is so big.
That's why they don't conseiller. They don't propose them. They don't propose them for bossing mules.
Ah yeah, ouais. Sont pas la top priorité.
I like your French.
That's why the Legion is so important, especially if you're playing a lot of different characters, and especially if you're going to rely on bossing mules, because you are funding all the characters in your account when you're upgrading your Legion.
Yeah.
So all of your characters now need less money, which means you're just printing money basically. The more characters you play, the more value you're getting out of it.
Is it 6.5 or 6? 6.5 has a lot of characters more, right?
5.5.
Or it's 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5 and 8
okay.
are where you get a lot of characters. Yeah.
Okay.
And 6 is where you get the whole grid. But then when we get to 6, it feels good that you get to 6, but then you see how little you can actually fill and how much open space there's left, and that's when you feel like going for 8. So they designed that very well, because you're like, damn, now I want to actually put more pieces in.
I mean, with the 2 next Terra Burning, I get to 6k, to 5k. After that, I'll just go with the rhythm, I mean.
Yep. And then Korea's adding the 42 characters soon, right? And then you can put the 42 characters will count, and then you'll get to 9k and 9.5 and everything. Yeah.
At 8, it will have 42.
No, just the total amount of characters whose levels will count now is up to 40, right? 40 characters above level 60, and that will go up to 42 characters instead. So if you have like 42 characters that are level 140 now, you know, and a few higher levels, now you have 6k, but then when a change comes, you'll immediately go from 6k to like 6.3k. But if you're already at 8 or something, you might actually get to 8.5 or, you know, closer to 9 or to 9.5. Where at this point, you know, going for 9 or 9.5 is kind of ridiculous. It's so much work, and you just get 1 extra block in the Legion when everything that you need is already filled, so the value is very low. But if you're getting it for free, then hey, you know, it's free stats.
I'll start with 6K and
yeah, that's probably
I'll
good. Yeah,
there.
start there.
Yeah.
And then we'll see. On verra.
Yeah, on verra. All right. So I had questions for Young, but it's okay.
Yeah, we're kind of over time already.
Yeah. I know. It's okay.
The main thing for Ho Young is it'll feel like you can't really use your skills properly, and everything is pretty slow. Yeah,
you just want to play it, I think.
Yeah, you want to practice a lot with the real and fake forms of the skill. So when you use your arrow key or not, that'll help you move around. And also, if you use the Nimbus, right, the little cloud to fly around, when you use your fire skill, it resets so you can do it again. That's kind of cool. The main thing is going to get when you get the hyper skill for the tonic, that's going to make all of your mobbing and everything way better, because it just gives you like 2 or almost 3 full bars on both of your energies, so you can recycle all of your buffs to make sure that those stay up, and you can use your attacking skills, and then you'll get way higher uptime on your vortex, for example, and then that's gonna open up a whole lot of possibilities, because the vortex is a super strong skill.
Yeah. I mean, it's like any characters. If you play it, you'll get the hang of it. Like Mercedes. Just to get it 136, I was like, okay, I need to practice my combos and arc also.
Yeah, and the Ho Young definitely relies for the damage quite a bit on the clones that are flying around, and in the beginning that's just weaker, right? But once you get to a certain amount of power and boost nodes and all that stuff, and those clones can start killing, well, now you can go into maps and they will just start flying around everywhere and killing everything, and then, like in Limina, Ho Youngs just use all their buffs, stand in the middle of the map and just spam 1 skill, and then when the vortex is over, they put the vortex on the side, they jump back to the middle, and they just spam 1 skill, and the clones just go all around the map and just kill it, and the butterflies, and they just go kill everything.
Yeah, that's what I like, because the main thing is mobbing in that game. So if it doesn't get nice mobbing, in my opinion, it's like
Yeah, you have to really like the bossing if you hate the mobbing, because it's like so much work to get through. Oh, can I ask you, is the coupons for the pets, those are permanent, right? Because I don't see a timer on it.
Yeah, it's permanent, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because I heard
use
someone mention
because I have I think I'll get them to resistance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's account bound and it's permanent.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty new, but it doesn't have auto buff, and a lot of other pets do. So, well, I mean, it's free pet. Fuck it.
Yeah, but we'll buy an X.
Yeah.
Quality of life, they said.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more quality of life coming after Destiny. A lot more good stuff. So that's nice.
Yeah. Not in the cash shop, I hope.
I don't know. I mean, all the good stuff in the cash shop I can't even buy because it's RNG. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't have access. People was like, "Oh, look at the cash shop," and then I go through cash shop. There's just nothing there. Like it's just empty.
So the what's it called? The orb for pets, you can't buy that, right?
No, and what is it? The philosopher books and all that stuff. So if like if I look here,
books, what does it give? Is it good or?
It gives random. I heard that the one good thing that's in there, it can give you prepared spirit pendant, but I think all the other stuff is mostly cosmetic. I think.
Oh.
But yeah, so
I'm not that well.
in the event,
above skill, and that's it. That's okay for me.
The only thing I can see in the whole event tab is my totems in the reward shop, and everything else is just completely empty.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
At least I don't get tempted,
right? You can't
right?
buy black cubes with the reward?
No, also I can't do that now.
Why? It's free.
Because you get reward points from buying Mezzo. So reward points is a direct derivative currency from real money, which means that if you can buy an item like a black cube with something that is bought with money currency or derivative from direct currency, and you have access to it as a minor, then it has to be blocked in my country. Because it's basically online gambling that's accessible to like 13-year-olds, right?
Yeah,
for real money with
mean,
RNG, so that's why it's against the law. Just like, you know, going slot machine or something is. Or playing casino.
Yeah, but you upgrade your gear, you go kill bosses, and you get reward points for free, right?
Yep. Yeah, but because you can also get it directly from money, they have to block it. But, I mean, the argument that you're getting closer to is, well, okay, you don't want people to spend their money, right? Because we see that there's value in your money, and you don't want kids to get, like, bad habits with their money, and you don't want them to waste the value that they have on like online stuff, right? You want to give bad behavior.
Yeah.
But it's okay for someone to go online and sit there on a computer for 12 hours and then spend that time on the upgrade. Isn't that time also valuable? You know? So where do you draw the line, right?
Yeah.
What if someone works 4 hours and makes money, you know, even if they're like under 18, and then they spend that money on gambling, and then they have 8 hours that they're productive and do other stuff, and then someone else is just unproductive for 12 hours playing video games and then spends all of that money. Is the second one better than the first one? You know, it raises some questions, but, you know, we got to start somewhere. I think it makes sense to be at least consistent when you're talking about, you know, gambling and that kind of stuff is illegal, and then and then other countries on computer games is like, oh well, now it's, you know, it's hunting season, you know, it's all open, fair play, everyone can do whatever they want. That feels a little weird, pretending like it's not just a casino.
Maybe you'll have to move out to play Maple someday.
Yeah, move to another country.
Because it's all RNG, so.
The problem is, like, all the European countries will probably follow pretty closely. Like, there's a bunch of laws in France as well. And the Netherlands is even more strict in some ways, less strict in some other ways. So, yeah, it's crazy. You just need all the countries to do something similar, and then the games just have to build differently, and then that'll be better. But as long as the countries do different things, it'll feel really weird listening to how other governments do it.
Yeah, you're right, because I don't really get the hang of it of your country law, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I get it for kids, but
yeah, exactly. If there was some kind of age check or something, then it would be completely unnecessary, and it would just be blocked for underage, and people who are of age could just buy it like normal, which I think that would be good. But then, you know, what do? Do you do an age check? Do you do like an ID check? Do you do an account based on like a phone number or social security number, like in Korea? How do you store all of that data? How do you make sure all of that is safe? You know, it's like a whole.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a whole infrastructure. So. So that's why a lot of the mobile games are just like, well, we're just not going to launch in Belgium. That's why Lost Ark doesn't launch, and that's why a lot of mobile games you just can't play in Belgium, basically.
Stick to Maple, it's the best.
Yeah. Maple just blocked the whole bunch of stuff.
Right now, so.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy trying to log in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for Ho Young, I don't know enough. I mean, I know those things, so I gave you a few tips, but I don't know as much.
Just playing it, I think I'll maybe not get the full hang of it, but it won't be that bad. Just starting out at 4th job and...
Yeah, they made it a bit easier to build up your energy. In the beginning, it was very split. Like, you had to use these skills for this energy and then this one for that. And now they added a skill that helps you, like, generate more. And also, every single skill generates a little bit. And the more you alternate between skills, the more you generate. So if you just use all the skills whenever they're off cooldown, basically, then you'll build up your energy pretty quickly.
Okay. And, hey, thanks a lot, man.
Yeah. Oh, and you can always join the like class Discord, right? If you need like specific class tips for like Ho Young or something. So that'll be like a refuge or like a last resort you can get to. Yeah, no worries. Hopefully you got almost everything that you wanted, except for as much Ho Young. But I mean, I'm not a huge Ho Young player. So.
A third thing, it's not really that important.
Okay. Yeah, if anything else comes up, you can always let me know. But otherwise, I'll always be here streaming and be in chat. You can always ask in chat, of course. And let me know how it goes with the Lumi.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, de rien. Bonne chance. Et au revoir.
Bonne chance à toi aussi.
Merci.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. All right. Cool. Your totem is almost over, guys. Good luck. Last 20 seconds. Make sure you ask in the guild and in the alliance if anyone wants your VC3 map. Yeah, so if you're in a similar situation, hopefully that gave you some insight. And just in general, you know, we talked about some concepts like how far do you upgrade a character? What do you use as a benchmark for stats? What do you use as a benchmark for do I need to upgrade more, or can a character just stay where it is? And I think he had a very good sense of what content do I do, and what is my where's my limit, you know, like where's my boundary of this is just eating into my time and into my fun versus this is actually really necessary and I understand that this is important, so I'm going to do this. And that's something we didn't have to go over, but for a lot of people that is a question that they might have on like what kind of content, like what do I prioritize? And a lot of times it just comes down to, listen, what do you want to be able to do in the game? What do you absolutely need for that? Try to do that, and then apart from that, try to do as much of the things that you just enjoy and that are fun for you, so that you can counteract those chores with fun and enjoyment, hopefully. So yeah, hopefully that was all good and educational, and hopefully was entertaining for you guys to listen to. Remember, if you guys want to win one of these one-on-one sessions, make sure you leave a comment with your Discord name saying that you would like to win. And if you don't want to wait, there is also information in the description on how you can get one of these sessions. For everything else, you can always catch me live over at Twitch, twitch.tv/Scardor, and I stream there every day. Plus, I have all of these, except for tomorrow, by the way. So he said every day, and he wasn't here. And if you need any of those resources, these are all available through the chat as well. Even when I'm online, offline, whatever, you can use the chat over on Twitch, and the bots will reply with all of the information that you might need. So I thank you for watching, and maybe I'll see you live on stream. And if not, I'll see you in the next video.